Hey, podcast listeners and viewers today. As you have probably already seen, I'm here with a familiar face to you over the past week, Chef Todd Mohr. And Chef Todd and I, as promised, are going to be discussing a lot of the questions that you had and some of the concepts that Chef Todd knows a lot about but wasn't able to discuss too much just because he was so busy cooking up magic for you. So, Chef Todd, thanks for coming on the call today. So, basically, the people at Ben Greenfield Fitness, we've been, on and off for the past couple years, really working on getting some of the packages and some of the food that's laden with preservatives out of people's lives and get them shopping around the perimeter of the grocery store, grabbing the produce and some of the healthier deli items, some of the healthier dairy items, a lot of the greens, a little bit of the whole grains. And so now people have all this stuff in the refrigerators. They got some of the healthy foods and the fruits and the vegetables on their counter, but you really can't grab an avocado, slice it open, and eat it like an apple. And I know that you, the master, probably have some great ideas about what people can do with all these healthy whole foods that they already have, how they can apply cooking methods to actually create these into recipes. So, what thoughts do you have on that? Yeah. Hmm. Right. So people need to totally break out of this mindset that they have to actually have their book laid out in front of them and the avocado and maybe the cumin and the coriander and these other spices that you talked about, putting the exact measurement of each together to make a perfect recipe. Instead, it's about knowing how some of these things work together and understanding that rather than being held to some rigid recipe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. It's not the olive oil. Yeah. Mhm. 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 You know, it's very interesting because you talk about maybe some people being or having a fear of straying outside the recipe and wanting to be held to this rigid recipe. I experience a lot of that myself as a fitness coach. There are people who want this exact recipe, 15 repetitions, no more, 3 sets, no more, no less, when what it really comes down to is you go to the gym or you get on your bike or you go to the pool or you head to the track with a goal in mind. Today I'm going to work on my VO2 max system. Today I'm going to do aerobic only. Today I'm going to burn fat. And you put together your workout based off of the underlying idea or the method behind the workout. And what that allows some of my more successful clients to do is they can kind of twist and be flexible with the workouts that I send. And if they happen to be at a hotel instead of at their gym, or they happen to be, at a park instead of a track, they can adapt the workout because they understand the general idea behind it. So it seems to me the best of both worlds would be to understand fitness method and to understand nutrition method, put the two together, and you've kind of got a healthy lifestyle. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Now, I kind of want to parlay that into the first real question that we got from a listener who wanted to know about spice combinations. And you talked about some of this when you were talking about chopping up the avocado. How does somebody actually learn that type of thing? Which spices go together well, or do you have kind of some combinations that you can tell the listeners right now? Bam, bam, bam. The cinnamon goes with the nutmeg, and the coriander goes with the turmeric, and that type of thing. Yeah. Hmm. Huh. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Uh-huh. Hmm. Uh-huh. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Interesting. And I think you oh, go. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure. Well, you talked about this web cooking school or cooking school. You didn't even say web cooking school, but just for people who may misunderstand that, You don't actually have a brick and mortar school. Everything is online, video based. Is that how it's working? Uh huh. Uh huh. So anybody anywhere in the world can see these cooking classes that you're teaching. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now, I think in your last response, you kind of answered one of the listener questions I was going to ask you, which is how to actually convince someone that eating healthy food doesn't have to taste like crap, was the word that they used. And I think you answered that pretty well. So I want to move on to a little bit more specific question about quinoa, because you did a video on quinoa earlier this week in the video series for Ben Greenfield Fitness, and this listener, Patrick, asks, what are some fruits that seem to do better served with quinoa? And, well, yeah, that's basically his question. What are some fruits that seem to do better when served with quinoa? Mm hmm. Yeah. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. For me, for me, it's about texture. I'm very big on texture. I think quinoa tastes mushy and soft, and so I like to combine crunchy things with it. So for me, it's usually apples or pears, and then I'll also throw some seeds or nuts in there. And that's like, a lot of times I will do a quinoa for breakfast and for lunch, and that's what I'll do is I'll try and find something crunchy to offset the soft. That's just who I am. I'm big on the texture, but great combinations. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Now, here's a question about the fond in the pan. What are some of your favorite go-to liquids to use when removing the fond off the pan, and what are some liquids that should be avoided when removing the fond off the pan? Hmm. 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 Mhm. Mhm. Yes. Yes. Mhm. 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 Huh. Mhm. Mhm. No. Cool. Now, if you were listening or watching and you have no clue what Chef Todd is talking about, one of the first videos in the 6 video series that you can watch over at Ben Greenfield Fitness was Chef Todd demonstrating in detail this saute method and explaining what the fond is and everything like that. So be sure to check that out. And I've got one more question I'd like to address, and then I also want to pick your brain for just a second about the cooking classes. And that is, a listener asked how to actually cook a regular piece of chicken or beef or lamb in a minimalist way without losing the natural flavors. I don't know. Is that synonymous with caveman? Mhm. 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 Hmm. Yeah. Mhm. Mm. Mhm. 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 Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yep. Yep. Yes, and if you are that minimalist person, please don't be so minimalist that you use your same personal health thermometer in the kitchen. That probably won't work out too well. Yes, no glass thermometers, nothing like that. No mercury. Uh, Real quick, Chef Todd, am just curious because you have obviously tons of cooking videos, and if I were to go do your web cooking classes, is it just one of those deals where I've got to feed through the fire hose and a ton of videos coming at me, or is there some type of system that you give people to kind of digest, no pun intended, all of these different videos that you've created? Hmm. Hmm. Mhm. 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 Right. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Well, I'm going to put a link over to web cooking classes in the show notes to this video podcast. And, my thoughts on it, people, are you got to eat your entire life. So you might as well do it well and learn how to use all these different flavors and compounds and substances that are growing all around you. It's a lot of fun. No fear in the kitchen, right, Chef Todd? Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Oh yeah. Right. 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 Well, I certainly love what you're doing, and I want to thank you for your time today and for coming on the show. All right. So note to yourself, go check out Chef Todd's website. I'll throw a link up there. And until next time, from BenGreenfieldFitness.com, this is Ben Greenfield and Chef Todd signing out.